Good afternoon, everyone. The Dewey Marketing Committee. We've got several people calling in, but let's go around and do a roll call. Start on my left.
Hello, I'm Alex Cedric. I'm new to the committee.
Janine DePaula Stevens.
Ellen Winkler.
Carmel Monfalco.
Lisa Carmel.
Can we hear you yet, Commissioner
Commissioner
Bauer? Commissioner Bauer's waving at us.
Okay. To kick it off, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There you go. Thank you. Okay, we are officially starting the meeting. First of all, do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda for today?
So moved.
Okay, Janine moves. Do I hear a second?
Ellen seconds.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'm going to be the secretary today, just to keep it easy, keep it moving. So the first is the minutes. Everyone should have received a copy of the meeting's minutes from January 13th. Any comments? Okay.
Oh, good.
Do I hear a motion for approval?
I motion to approve.
Great. Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second,
Okay,
Alex.
Alex seconds. Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Passes. So we have a great agenda today. The first was updates from our discussion last time. Carmel, can you hear us? Are you good?
I can, I'm just looking to pull up the agenda, that's all.
Okay, great. So first, Janine, if you could provide updates on the beach post and the monthly resident newsletter.
Sure. At our last meeting, we had a great idea to come up with, beach posts at the end of the beach entrances so that when people were walking the beach, they knew exactly what street they were at. Well, unbeknownst to us at that point in time, the Dewey Civic League had already basically moved that forward, and they have gotten a approval already by our commissioners. So what I have, and I can, pass around, or just what the Dewey Civic League has sent us. So I can kind of hold it up, and maybe, I don't even know where the camera is. I don't think they can see it that far away, but it's basically a pole. They're really nicely decorated, sort of in a, someone help me, what is this called? The tie-dye sort of fashion. And then over top of the tie-dye, pretty colors are the letters for the street. So these will be installed there. So just take a peek and we can pass them around. And then hopefully everyone has joined and is receiving the monthly newsletter that comes out from the town. If you're not, you can do so on the website, but that has commenced. And I think we have 2 so far. So success.
Excellent. These are awesome looking posts too.
Yeah, they look
are.
great.
They came
I
out
think they've
great.
done a great job.
Where does the funding come from that? You know?
I don't, it's
Yeah.
the Dewey Civic League. So
Okay.
unfortunately, I don't know enough to
That's-
speak on it.
No, that's great. Absolutely. Cool. So also upcoming Dewey partnership events. I know Kelly's not able to attend tonight, but I did want to
I'm
thank her.
here.
Oh my gosh, hey Kelly. Oh, excellent.
Just
Thank
in
you.
time.
Perfect timing.
Just in time.
So Kelly, I heard the Easter egg hunt was
Hello.
awesome. You want to talk about all the events that have been going on and the ones you have planned? Kelly? Kelly, we're not hearing you.
Did she freeze?
Yeah, are you on mute?
Yeah, Kelly, I think you're on mute.
There's Paul.
Huh.
But we can hear Paul now.
Yeah.
Commissioner
Yeah, I
Bauer.
hung up and now we can't. Here, Kelly's texting me. Can't hear you.
She's not muted.
Oh, you were at the Easter egg scoop, I believe.
I was.
You want to provide just kind of an update of how you felt it went?
Oh, I thought it was a
Can
great
you hear
event.
me?
It turned out very nice. We can hear you now, Kel.
I don't know what's going on.
Technology.
Hey, Kelly, this is
Okay. All right, I can hear you.
Oh, great. So we actually, through the agenda, we had come up to where you're going to provide just a quick update how you thought the Easter egg went, what you have planned, and how we can help.
Okay. So the Easter egg hunt was, and I'm not here because as you can tell, my voice, I'm not feeling too well. The Easter egg hunt went very, very well. We had about 10,000 eggs that we handed out. Jimmy O'Connor from Woody's donated candy as well for the little ones. We had an Easter bunny that was so well behaved. He was such a good bunny.
I heard he was great this year.
He
Or
was
she, whatever, he or she was great. Yes.
Finally.
And and one thing that we did add some more of this year was the Pup Promenade. So last year we had maybe 4 dogs. This year we had about 20, maybe 24 dogs in the end parade. So I anticipate that growing. People love that. So that was our Easter egg hunt. And then next up we have the Dewey Arts Fest, which is going to be May 7th. This is going to be our biggest arts fest ever, as we have over 70 artists this year. We are also doing it in conjunction with the Lions Club Community Day. So we're excited to use the newly paved, thank you to our town manager, Dagsworthy Avenue. It looks beautiful. So that will be May 7th. We are also, I should mention, April 30th, that weekend is the Doodles and Dewey weekend, which is not sponsored by the Dewey Business Partnership. However, we did schedule a Dewey Dogs weekend that weekend as well. So I did not want to steal their fire. So we may just do something simple with yappy hours around town. I'm working on some small details for that. But I know Doodles and Dewey is a huge event. So I did not want to, steal their fire. So we may be doing something after their event takes place, such as maybe tricks for treats, where, the dogs walk the businesses, kind of like a trick or treating, but tricks for treats. And then maybe perhaps a couple yappy hours around town, and then grow it from there for next year.
Excellent.
Awesome, Kelly. Wow.
And Kelly, you did an
Trick or treat.
excellent job with
I like
the
that.
Easter egg scoop too.
You need an excellent job.
Excellent job.
Thank
I'm
you.
putting
Paul.
that in the meeting minutes. Excellent job.
Excellent.
I'm so happy
Not gonna pay after all.
everything turned out. It was great. It was, the adult egg hunt has grown. The jackpot was huge this year. It's our biggest jackpot ever. So one lucky family got to bring home some cash that they won in a 50-50. So that was nice.
Great.
Mhm.
Kelly, thank you for all your awesome work on that. It's just
You're welcome.
great.
Yeah, thank you, Kel.
Thank you all for your collaboration and helping. Appreciate it.
Okay, so let's and I know I'm looking at, I printed out your schedule, Kelly, for the Dewey Business Partnership. There's so much planned for the summer too. So we can talk about that more later, but the running of the bulls, the canoe races, the restaurant Olympics, just some really fun things. Maybe we can help promote it as well.
That would be amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so the
I
next
think the
agenda
marketing
item-
committee needs to form a team for the Olympics.
I'm
Restaurant
seeing-
Olympics?
I don't
No,
know if you can see, I
I
don't-
need you as referees. There will be none of that.
We need some referees. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna add that referees needed. So here we go. Okay.
I'm happy to volunteer again. It was a lot of fun last year.
It is big fun.
I'll
And
put that
Arts
on our
Fest-
calendar.
Arts Fest volunteers are needed. That's for sure.
Okay.
May
Great.
7th. Okay.
Okay, awesome. So our next agenda item is the Dewey Welcome Package. Janine, I know we talked about this, if you don't mind providing an update.
Sure. We had the Dewey Welcome Packet got this nice little beach bag here from the town hall. And apparently they're used to years ago do actual giving new homeowners a welcome packet. And so what we'd like to do is get this started again, starting with this lovely bag.
That's a nice bag.
Yeah.
So it's from LL Bean, and the town has, I think, roughly 50 of them or so. So we can, start with this. And Ashley, feel free to chime in here, but I don't mean to speak for you. But Ashley can provide us a little bit of background as to what used to be included. I know when she and I spoke briefly, she had shared with me that there used to be like a coffee mug. Ashley, you should probably just run down the list and kind of fill
Sure.
them in as to what used to be in there.
Yeah, so we used to put 2 coffee mugs in there, a Tervis tumbler. We did chapstick. We had a beach towel that was embroidered with the Dewey Beach logo on it as well. We had like the winter watch forms, and we would put registration forms, and more of like the clerical homeowners.
So
Chaps. But we used to use discountmugs.com was where we used to get a lot of the stuff. And then the Tervis tumblers we used to get from Odyssey. Carol Ann and Rick Dreyer were our contacts there.
So one of the things that obviously in getting this started again is what should we include? And I think that's where Ashley's looking for some suggestions and advice from us. I think if I can just say from a logistical paper standpoint, I think it would be great if we could potentially have like a QR code and, you know, everything that you need to know as a new homeowner, you just kind of go to that QR code, which then takes you to the Dewey website. So
Right.
that might be step one, is just kind of establishing a location where new homeowners could go on the website and get everything that they needed, be it even if it's links to other pages, but things such as, how do I sign up and vote? Do I have to vote? I don't understand why I need to sign up here when I'm already a voter in, you know, in our government elections. So those sort of questions that come about. I think also talking about accommodations tax and all of the things that a new homeowner goes, oh, I didn't know I had to get a permit to paint my house. You know, how much over does this require? So I think perhaps maybe a card would work for that. And then if we could perhaps come up with some ideas and perhaps even give Ashley and I, instead of actually concrete ideas, we could talk about more of like a budget. You know, how much do we think, given this bag, how much do you think a new homeowner in town would feel appreciated? Are we talking about $50, $75, $100, $125? And then we could throw out some ideas and Ashley could put together a couple ideas, you know, here's what we can do for this amount of money. This is what we might be able to do for this amount of money. Don't want her to have to do, you know, too many, but maybe just an A and a B would be my suggestions.
Yeah, so this is great context, Janine, and thank you, Ashley. Couple quick questions. First of all, do they get a welcome email or anything else, or is this the kind of the sole way that we would contact them to start?
Currently, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ashley, but we don't have emails unless they go on to the website and sign up. So all we have is when the transfer tax information comes in to the town of Dewey, we then know the name of the person who bought the house or the LLC, and we have then their address, obviously the property they purchased. And do we also have a phone number, Ashley?
That does not come through the transfer tax. That's information the homeowner has to provide to us. Or with technology, we sometimes use the fastpeoplesearch.com to look that up, but it's.
So we're trying to use this as a motivator to like come into town and, you know, to also have it be communicated by neighbors, by marketing committee people, whatever, that did you stop into the town to pick up your welcome bag? So we want it to be something that they actually go, oh yeah, let me go stop in the town. And then we're able to kind of engage them and capture, you know, here's how
Right,
you
they
can
know
get
what town hall
information.
is and all, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so the objective of the welcome bag, that's where I was going exactly, is to basically make them feel welcome and to gain information, right? To kind of gather that information, maybe a welcome letter in there with the QR code, should be awesome for the resource. How many new purchasers do we have a year? So we got 50 bags. I'm trying to figure out from a budget perspective, you know, Ashley, are you ordering 500 something? Or how many are we getting a year?
Well, this year is a little abnormal because we've had quite a bit of transfer. I think the number that I saw was $1.8 million that has come in through transfer taxes because a lot of homes have sold. But on average, what would you say, Ashley? How many or Commissioner Bauer?
Between 50 and 60 a year.
So theoretically, these bags should get us through.
Our
one
new year starts in a couple days, right, Ashley?
Our fiscal year is April 1st to March 31st.
Yeah, or just started rather, right? So, yeah, on an average year, you know, just rule of thumb, it's about 50 people. So, you know, let's say if we did $100 per welcome kit, that would be a $5,000 expense, right? So, we're going to have, it's a non-budgeted item. So we're going to have to go through and get it budgeted somehow if we're going to do it. So I think if we, maybe $50, we're under. Now we're dealing at a $2,500 a year expense to welcome back. I think it's a great thing to do. It's just, just got to pay for it. That's all.
Well,
You're
we
not
could
gonna
also,
get much for $50 though.
yeah.
You can get a lot. for
That
$50,
got
yeah.
to be
This-
20.
Yeah, this bag was basically 50. I mean, the cost of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we talking about though the cost or the value? Like as an example, and I know you said don't give concrete ideas yet, but if we have a packet of restaurants that are offering 15% and all the ones in town that we're partnering with, so that they feel welcome, they get to know the sites, that is obviously a value, but it's not a cost to us.
Right. So that leads us to another topic there. Ashley, would you mind? Would you mind if I jumped in on this? That idea that you had about what they do in Key West.
No, not at all.
If everybody has their phone handy, go to conkrepublic.com. And they have this is down in Key West. They have what's called a passport. And what you do here. So once you get on that site, just let me know when everybody's ready. And across the top, it's home, passports, Concord Public celebrates,
C-O-N-C-H.
CONCH.
Okay, that sounds right.
So click on it at the very top where it says passports. And then you can go to the Q&A with, what's all in there, but I'll try to summarize it as best I can. And Ashley, if I mess up here, straighten me out. So essentially this would tie into what the Dewey Business Partnership might want to do, like different members or, different partners in there would say, hey, on owner's weekend, it's 10% off your breakfast or, 10% off dinner or, something that is only available to a homeowner, not to a visitor. So at that point, let's say the Starboard wants to give away a coffee mug, for example, instead of getting them stolen from them. That might be a good giveaway for, I'm just throwing ideas out, but yeah, we could probably get some of the items donated. Woody's might want to give away a t-shirt or something, something that advertises their business to a local homeowner. And I think it's a great way to sort of bring the community together with the businesses. And I think it helps everybody. Plus it's a, great communication tool because everybody could, a new homeowner, do they know, when does Woody's have steak night and, when's that available, for example. So, different things like that. I think it would be a great communication tool for everybody. And it would pop right up on your phone. It's an app that goes on there.
Hey, Paul, just real quick to understand, are you thinking as part of the welcome or is it kind of for all residents from your?
Well, this might be a way, once we get, once they buy, maybe we send them a link to get a passport as a homeowner to keep you up to date. And then within there, order your welcome kit, for example, would be one of the things you could do. Either we can hunt them down to get them to come in for it, or they can request it. That might be our giveaway, along with some other stuff.
Because I do think that's something that for local residents, just a resource to know where to go for,
Yeah, absolutely.
Bingo night, whatever. I mean, those things, right? To be able to have a list of what it is, that'd be really nice and promote the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tie
I'm just
into
throwing that out for an idea. It sort of ties into the welcome packet. We can't just, we can't vote on anything about it, but maybe this would be something that we can put on the next month's meeting and have a vote on it if we're all in favor of it. In the meantime, we can do some more research and I'll try to come up with some numbers of, see what the businesses would be willing to contribute, et cetera.
So should Paul, so it sounds like from your perspective, we don't need to vote on that specific piece.
No. I think we're all in favor of having a welcome packet and we have to come up with how much that's going to cost. So I think we need some research before we can pass something along.
Alex, your idea of the coupon booklet, I think ties in well. Any other ideas just for Ashley as she starts to think about what would go in the welcome packet?
Do we have any beach towels left, Ashley?
There are not. Unfortunately, the only items left are the bags.
Okay.
I,
thanks.
I love the idea of like sunscreen, the
Yeah.
chapstick. I
Yeah.
mean, those aren't that expensive, especially buying them in bulk, and they don't necessarily go
Right.
bad as quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that we've started doing, actually, it's really nice, is we get a water bottle with a big opening in it. And then you get the really cool, funky sunglasses, which you get for a couple dollars, the neons. You throw a couple other things in there, like beer koozies. Like soda koozies. And you put it in there, and it's its own little kit. So it's its own little thing. You can put a welcome letter in there. We found that's the really efficient way. After we run out of these at $50 a pop, it gives you something to walk away with, and the water bottle is nice.
A great idea.
Yeah, I definitely think
Yeah.
that we can do this in a cost-effective way if we just choose smartly what we're doing. Like sunscreen, hats, things like that. They can be made in bulk, or bought in bulk, and made cheaply. So
Right. So what I can bring up at our next council meeting is to approve the budget to continue to buy these bags. And, I'll up the number to like 75 or something, if we end up with extras and we don't have to order as many the following year.
Yeah, but
And then we
I mean,
can work
as a thought, I do love just my own, I love the idea of eventually doing like a water bottle, since, going to the beach and you always have guests, and the guests forget their water bottles, and then you're giving, this would be
Yeah.
another
We've been
giveaway.
able to
handout.
do it. I mean, you got to order above thresholds, but
Sure.
we've been able to do it for $15 to $20 because you could put a soda opener, you can put a koozie, you can put sunglasses and sunscreen, and then it's all in a colorful bottle,
Right.
and it's something people walk out and small enough they can carry with.
Yeah, and you could fit like information, as we talked about, like with a QR
I
code,
love with the welcome, yeah, or a postcard.
or even if we had this on there, this could be the idea of the Concord Public type, passport, if that's electronic.
Yeah.
It would be cool if you put the QR code actually on the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then you can constantly change with information, right? So the beauty of a QR code is some people know, is you can redirect to other locations. So as we build new resources, we just send them to the new one. You don't have to reprint the water bottle.
yeah, you could even add some evergreen events on the back of the water bottle. Like bonfire this night, movies this night in the summer, just so that, again, you always want to remind people as often as possible when these events are, so it makes them feel part of the community.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah, and this might be a good way to communicate events to everybody too. Kelly, this might help out the partnership as well.
And the QR code is an amazing idea. I love that idea.
Yep.
So
Okay.
Paul, it sounds like we've thrown out some ideas. If you bring back a budget, then maybe we work with Ashley and we try to figure out what it might look like.
Hey, Ashley, what's the cost of those bags?
I don't recall off the top of my head, but I can look that up after we get off of here, and I can send that over.
Yeah, and whatever that cost is, what I'll do is I'll make a request for 75 bags a year. If we need to order a few more, then, it's not going to be that big a deal, but let's say 75, for now. And then, we'll try to come up with some giveaways like the sunscreen and all that kind of stuff, sunglasses. We'll have to find vendors that want to, donate to that stuff.
How old are these bags? Because there's probably a significant price increase.
I would think so.
2017 was when we ordered them.
Price increase.
I'm happy to pass on, Ashley. I do have one water bottle that we have that's kind of fully stocked. I can bring one by town hall in the next week or so. Just to give you a sense of kind of how it is.
Yeah, and I'll come up with whatever that budget is. We'll approve it, then we can come back and figure out, how, what you guys want to put in it for the budget. Does that seem fair?
Seems great.
Okay.
Okay, excellent. Okay.
Well,
our
again,
next-
pull together a vote. Somebody's got to motion it, you prove it, and then it'll come to me, then I'll take it to the commissioners meeting.
So Commissioner Bauer, it sounds like they'll be on the agenda for next time? Or are you saying you
No,
want to do it
you can
now?
vote on that now because it was noticed on the agenda. Was it discuss and vote? I didn't go look at that, Ashley.
No,
I
it's
think it
not.
was. It's not.
It says-
Well,
No, it just says Dewey welcome packet.
okay.
So-
we can't discuss
could
and vote.
also sell them. Don't you think we could sell these as well?
Probably could.
Make a little money? I think they're great. I would carry one around.
We could, but does that make it less special to pick up? I don't
I don't
know.
know, it makes you part of the.
Well, my
little
issue
club.
is as a current resident, I'm not going to get one.
That's
right.
right. So
Right.
you buy it if you wanted
Maybe
to.
you can buy it if
That's-
you're a current resident. But you can't just come off the street and have it because it's
We
really
could
for
tie that
local.
into the parking passes. There's a lot of things we can.
I mean, if
Cross-
you order
cross
75,
market.
and
Yeah.
25 local residents want to buy it, you
Yeah.
know, you buy
Yeah,
more
that's
next time.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and,
Make a
and
few
even at an
bucks.
event, you just raffle off a few too, and it'd be for obviously for citizens. So that also gets people involved too, gives them a reason to donate at whatever charity.
Mhm.
So there's a lot that can happen with that if we have any extras.
Look what happened with the dog tags. I mean, they were sold out or they
Oh,
did
yeah.
really well. They're not sold out. They did really well. That was Bill Zolper's thing with those special doggy tags.
Well, and I love the idea of like the end of season beach party, Kelly, if you're open to it, have a raffle that goes to, something.
Yeah.
Right, fundraising. and then
Beautification of Dewey.
beautification, and then you get, this really cool bag that very few
We
people have.
actually, the town, I believe, or somehow we got a couple things, like I believe one was donated to Dewey Goes Pink. One was also donated to a couple of fundraisers that we've had. So they've been very successful in silent auctions. So yeah, people love them.
Awesome. So did we decide, we can't,
We
It was
discussed
just-
it. I'll discuss it in a meeting and have us establish a budget we can send back to marketing. I'll do it in reverse.
The
Okay.
bags are $35 each. That's before shipping and before embroidery.
Oh.
So it's probably going to be close to 50.
now.
yeah, $50 is what I would plan on.
Does it need to be
Okay.
LLB? Isn't there a less expensive source perhaps?
For
Perhaps.
sure.
I don't even know if we have.
We just want to have a round number.
Because maybe it's a smaller bag, or I don't know. I'm just saying, because filling it's going to be
That's the challenge,
bit
that makes it look small.
adventure. Yeah.
Unless you do a big towel, but again, those are expensive, you're gonna add up fast.
Yep.
Right. Well, we look forward to hearing our budget, Paul.
Okay. We worked on that.
When's your meeting, Commissioner Bauer? When's the?
What is it? May 8th, I believe.
Okay, I'll also get you the water bottle fully, kind of, so you can see what it looks like with all the branded materials in it.
Why don't I
before
take
then.
that?
Okay, great.
All right.
So, on to the next topic, one of our new committee members brought up an awesome idea regarding potential community fair idea. Alex.
Yeah, so I don't know who in here is familiar with Long Beach Island, New Jersey, but so every year they do a chowder fest and it gets all the local businesses, specifically the restaurants involved. They have it at their local fairground. And so all the residents go, you can sample all the chowders. It costs usually around $40 to get in, unlimited chowder. But then if you want other things like beer, French fries, things like that, then they sell. So if we could somehow do something like that, that ties the restaurant community together, brings people down here in the off season, but also then allows for that friendly competition, I think that there's a big opportunity. So you could have certain categories where it's best seafood dish. With our burgeoning pizza scene now, with North Beach getting a pizza oven, I know Country Club's planning on having pizza soon. You could have best pizza, best sandwich, and then if you want an area with alcohol, the best crush. And so you could do it just in Dewey or even best of the beach. But so that's kind of the idea, and open to obviously ideas to riff on that. But I think it'd be a good way to really promote the restaurant and hospitality scene down here.
I think it's a
Sounds
great idea. I
great.
think it's really neat. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what should we, should we add it as a agenda item for next time and maybe start to finalize talk about what some of the details are and how do we want to proceed with it?
I think that's a great, yeah.
Does everyone agree? Is there anyone that, thinks, Alex, I love the idea of bringing together the best of everything.
Yep.
Anybody else have any other perspectives on what else we could touch on with that?
No,
Well,
I think
I have an idea. So like, I remember as a kid, like what was really big was the Fireman's Fair. And there was food and there was a beer garden and everything, but you also had like those corny games, for
Yeah.
kids, and you had the wheel and to throw the darts and all of those things. So it might be fun if we had space. I know we don't have fairgrounds, but if we had space to even do like carnival type games, so it's not all wrapped around drinking.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Good idea. Yeah.
So Kelly, and I'd like your perspective on this just from the Dewey Business Partnership of what, if this is a marketing committee thing, if this is something to do a business partnership. You guys do so many events throughout the year. Obviously don't want to compete with it. So how does it, from your perspective, is it something, the town would be willing to, or town should look at, or what do you think, Kelly?
I think there's so much going on as far as extracurricular events. I know that when we do the Lions Club Community Day, the carnival games are there. I think, more is better sometimes, but also not like a repetition of what we already do. Like, for example, the end of season beach party, we have all the restaurants there. This year we didn't because of staffing and supplies, but that's a great example of everybody coming together, all the restaurants having their things out. But I do really like the idea of some kind of, I love the idea of a chowder fest, but not a chowder fest, but something similar to that, and then in the off season as well. So, I mean, any ideas are welcome, and I don't see it as a competition because we're all,
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
for one common goal here. So.
No,
Yeah.
and Kelly, I would absolutely agree. And I think it complements it. You guys, Dewey Business Partnership has done such a great job with events. That's the only reason I kind of raise it, but I don't know. Maybe it's something you plan for next spring, right? Like a couple of weeks before Memorial Day.
Yeah, and you could do obviously different variations. As you said, Kelly, Oyster Fest. If you wanted to do it cost effective for the restaurants, maybe it'd be Shrimp Fest. So again, you really incorporate that seafood aspect, keeping it still regional and indicative of the types of food and cuisine that we have down here, but also making sure that you're not spending so much on crab, because obviously that can be really expensive. Oysters are cheap too, but Oyster Fest may be redundant. Right,
Exactly. Or even being down at the Baywalk on Saturday, that is such an opportunity for the town to maybe do like a first night on the Baywalk, a first night family night, something of a family night idea for the Baywalk, maybe, on a Tuesday or something, like the first Tuesday of every month, as far as it can go, not off season, but in season, like June, July, August, September, a first night where, you have little things along the Baywalk, a bonfire, something like that, just to kind of start something there. I think that's really a focal point that is just, it's an amazing place that we have, that I feel like that could be a centerpiece for, we're starting to have our events there now, and it's so great. The height is wonderful. They really help us out. So, that would be a good location.
Has there ever been discussion? I love the idea of the first night family night, making it kind of family oriented. Has there ever been a discussion of like a farmer's market? We've got such a great agricultural beyond the beach, like Pfeiffer's and those, really good kind of farming going on. Is there a chance you come in and you set up a couple stands, and then you also have kind of the first night, so you have families there, and as they're staying for a week, they can pick up the fresh vegetables and things to cook with? I'm just kind of brainstorming here, but is there any, would that be something that, one night a month, you bring in a couple farmer stands?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that could be, I think, right now the farmer's market on weekends is pretty saturated with, you have Rehoboth on Tuesday, you have the Lewis, you have the one, they're everywhere. Vendors coming in, traffic and all of that. But, I've always thought about that as well. But I think there's definitely opportunity to develop something that the town could, focus on. I love the competition idea. So, I mean, there's so much more, you can do. It's just, we don't want to oversaturate so that things don't become special.
Absolutely.
So Alex, do you want to give some thought to what this community fair idea might look like? And maybe for the next meeting, we discuss a little more and think sometime in the spring for next year, kind of outline what it might include. And I love the ideas that we discussed. Does that seem to make sense?
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah. Kelly, do you want to discuss the first night anymore? Do you think there's anything else? We're heading into summer, right? So it's going to be a crazy busy time. do we table it for the fall to discuss kind of as we look to next spring and summer, or do you want to try and talk about something soon?
I would say, if we are going to do that, we have to look at, I don't think we can get it done in time for this year.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think it could happen for this year. But for next year, absolutely, you could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, the challenge, I mean, from a town's perspective, I mean, the only thing we really deal with is the crowd control, the policing aspect of it. We have to make sure we have enough officers on staff, et cetera. Because a lot of times that'll be overtime, if we need extra, depending on what the crowd looks like, right? But for the businesses to participate in it, they start losing their staff like the third week of August, right? Second week of August, that's when a lot of college people go back to college. And if you're in high school, you go up there. So they become short-staffed at that time. It's not like we don't want to, or they don't want to. It's just how do they, a lot of them barely have enough staff to keep their restaurants open. So we have to be cognizant of that. April may be a better time do some spring events to lead people into summer, April and May, leading up to Memorial Day. Might be better than the shoulder season from a staffing perspective. But Kelly, float that around the business partnership, see what they think as far as, I think there's a desire on the town's part to have some more events and bring people to town. But we want to recognize and be cognizant of the fact that there might not be enough staff for them to, participate in it. So that's the only thing that we should worry about, I guess, is their needs and not necessarily ours. I mean, we'd like to have it, but they're giving away food, or they have an expense coming up on it. So
Right. Exactly. And I do know that a lot of our partnership events were affected by the staff shortage last
no
year.
question. Yep.
So, fingers crossed that this summer will be better as far as staffing goes and supplies and so on and so forth. But I would say, if let's plan it and, plan something, but implement it in 2023.
Yep.
That's great. Sounds like a great idea.
Planning that
Especially
for
if you-
the end. Yeah, now's the time to plan it. Then we can advertise it in the fall for people coming back in the spring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'll add it for the agenda for next time.
Yep.
Great discussion. Thank you. Any public comments through Zoom? I don't know, Kate, are we seeing anything or? Okay,
I have an adorably quaint question.
okay.
What's a QR code? I think I'm the only person in the room.
You know what? What does it stand for? Do you know what QR stands?
I do not know what it stands for, but it essentially,
Or something.
so it allows through technology to redirect you to a website. So, if you have it on your QR code on your phone, if you've gone out to eat during the pandemic, where it says scan me and you show your cell phone and you have the camera open, and then it redirects you to the restaurant's menu, that's the QR code acting.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if I follow my children's recommendation and get a smartphone, I'll find out about this.
Yes.
They have, because of the pandemic with the menus, they've become very prevalent and they're
Yeah.
being used all the time now.
So it redirects.
It takes you to a website or a URL that then is for a menu. It would show basically download that menu.
So does Dewey Beach have a QR code now? Or is this?
We don't have one, but we can create one. They're
Easy to
free
create.
ways to do it. Yeah.
QR stands for quick response, in case anybody wanted to know.
You did look that up because you
I did look it up. Yes.
Just so you know, you
Amazing
stumbled
what you can
over
find
the
on
marketers.
the
I never
with darn computers.
So I would have to make an inquiry and then it would. direct
You would take a
that
picture.
So you basically put up your phone over the
She's gonna
scan.
show.
Yeah, she'll show you.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
And
So you just take your
there.
phone to it, your smartphone, you would just take your smartphone and show a picture of it essentially. And that picture that gives you a link to go to a website.
Okay.
Yeah. In theory, it's the same device that's used when you're checking out groceries at a grocery store.
Yeah, type of scanning, the species of scanning.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The beauty with the QR code is you can actually track like the number of people that are clicking through. You can also move them to a different site. So for example, if we updated a welcome site or the passport site, you could then send them directly to that site. You don't have to reprint the QR code. So you could have it for years later and redirect as needed.
So you got a marketing metric and then an opportunity
To send them
Present
to more
something.
information. Yeah, absolutely. Good question. Any other?
I'm learning. It's the benefit of being here in person.
Well,
Right,
and now I know
exactly.
it's quick response code, which is
Yeah.
great. I've never heard that used. Okay, any other committee member comments?
No comment.
Nope, no comment.
No.
Okay, should we try to set a meeting time for
thought you did.
a month from now? Are we good with that? I thought you might have a conflict. Should we just say it's the 24th of May?
I thought you said the 7th. Were you doing
Yeah.
24th
Or
now?
we can do the 17th. I can do either.
I'm fine with either, but we had set the 17th.
The 17th? Did you have a conflict?
24, it doesn't matter. Whatever works for you all.
Okay. Anybody have a conflict with May 17th or the 24th?
Nope.
Okay. I will send out confirmation on that. Great. Anything else? Any other comments?
Yeah, I have
Right
one
here.
comment.
Sure.
The chair of this evening's meeting has done an outstanding job. So I, just want to clap it
Yay.
up. He did a
Good
great
point.
job.
It's a trying, Paul.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, and the goal was,
Thank you,
of
Alex.
course, at 17, we started late. Do I hear a motion to close the meeting?
Motion.
Okay, Alex is getting the hang of this. Here you go.
Second.
There you go. Okay, it's a tie. I'm gonna
She can
say
have
a
it.
tie. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for calling in.
Hey,
All right,
bye.
thank you.
All right.
See everybody soon.